Hello everybody and welcome back to my sunroom. It's been a rainy couple of days here in East Tennessee, and I was thinking about the goals that I have for my orchids this year. As I look around, I see a lot of spikes, which means renewal and a brand new year for growth. I like to think through my collection at the first of the year and see what needs to be done and take note of any supplies that I need ahead of time, because spring is actually less than 80 days away. So I like to start planning ahead now. The first thing I need to do is buy some more ceramic pots for my phals. Several of them, like the one you see here, they are so loaded with buds that when they bloom, they're likely to fall over. So that's definitely a top priority. That's one reason why I stake my spikes up early, because they get so heavy with blooms that they actually pull the plant out of its container sometimes. The next thing I need to check is, do I have my spikes staked up properly? I still have a few to stake, so I want to get that done in the next week or so. Sometimes it's difficult to stake them, especially my miniature Phalaenopsis. Some of these, like Buddy and Star that you see here, they're spiking to both sides, which makes a really pretty display. Since these are minis, I just leave them kind of staked up this way loosely. I kind of play it by ear, but the large phals I have to stake up because of the weight of the blooms. And the third thing on my list is to check to see if I have plenty of fresh bark and New Zealand sphagnum moss. I have a fresh supply of all these, and I need to throw away any old bark that I haven't used in a year. And I don't have any old bark, so that's good. So I'm good here. And I have plenty of New Zealand sphagnum moss that I just bought. The next thing I check, do I have orchid pots, the ones that the orchids actually grow in, and stakes. I need to order several of the large 8-inch heavy-duty orchid pots for a few of my orchids that needed to be repotted in the spring, and I get those from Repot Me. I use large bamboo stakes on my large phals, and I use bamboo skewers for my miniature orchids, and I have plenty of those on hand. I need to pick up some raffia. I just ran out of it. It's very handy to have around. I usually start staking my spikes up with raffia just to get the spikes going the right way, and then I add the decorative clips later. Then the next thing I check on is, do I have plenty of fertilizer, CalMag, seaweed extract, and the Espuma garden lime. I just bought a fresh supply of these. I had the CalMag and the seaweed extract for about 2 years, so I bought some new for my orchids. I want fresh bottles of those for my orchids about every year or two, and I'll use the little bit that I have left in the old bottles on my outside plants in the spring. Next, I'm going to check my setup. Do I need any more tray tables from Walmart? Yes, I need to pick up a few more. I need to check, is there plenty of airflow around my orchids? Are they too crowded? With the amount of growth that I've had this past year, that's something that I check up on really often. You don't want to overcrowd your orchids. Are they situated in the right place? Yes, most of them. I still have some inside, and as long as we don't get as much rain as we had last year, I think that should be fine. If it starts raining a whole lot again in the spring, I'll have to move them out here for the extra light. And the next thing I check on is everyone getting enough light for the winter? Check. Everything is either in an eastern or a western facing window. So I'll be checking the amount of light they receive starting the middle of February, and I'll assess that again. Some of these western facing windows in the back of my sunroom can get too much light as we head into spring, and I can provide some temporary shading for them if that's the case. So I'll have to keep an eye on that throughout the rest of the year, because we removed several bushes away from the foundation of our house, and that will affect the light in the sunroom. I really like the amount of sunlight that I'm receiving back here right now. So I can even display orchids in my kitchen again. With all the rain, the hedges and the bushes around my house just grew to 3 stories high last year. So I'm receiving a lot more light back here as well, which is really good. So here are my goals for this year. I'm going to repot in a timely manner this year. I can do that because I have all the supplies I need ahead of time. My Cattleya needs repotting after it blooms, and so does my huge dendrobium here in the corner of my sunroom. I have 2 enormous, huge phals that need homes that I'll have to buy huge pots for, and I'll have to get those at a garden center because they don't sell orchid pots that large. You can use any type of a large plastic container as long as you drill holes, plenty of air holes in the bottom. And Santa bought me a brand new triple reverse osmosis water system. So my water will be great quality for both me and for my orchids. And that's important for keeping us all healthy. So my fertilizer routine is really working. I'm going to keep that routine going because growing healthy orchids is all about great watering and great fertilizing, them receiving plenty of the right kind of light, and the orchid growing in fresh medium. Also, Santa bought me a new tripod for Christmas, so I'm going to be able to make awesome videos and pictures of my orchids, so I'm really excited about that for this year. So I'm curious, how do you all prepare for the new year for your orchids? Please feel free to share all your stories, your ideas. I love reading about how you all care for your orchids as well. And I'm hoping that will help you plan ahead for a new, successful year of growing orchids. I'm wishing all of you a happy and blessed 2021, and I'd love to say the blessing over you and your family and your orchids for this year. The Lord bless you and keep you. Make His face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn His face toward you and give you and your family His peace. 2021 is going to be a great year, and thanks for watching, and we'll see you all next time.